Hey Aries, welcome to Glow in the Dark Tarot. I'm going to be doing your reading for September 2019. Sorry that it is late. I took an extended little break over the weekend, but hopefully, um, you're not mad at me. So, before we get started, please know that this reading may or may not resonate with you. And please remember that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. So anything that might resonate with you in this reading is up to you, whether or not you want to make certain choices or decisions based off of what comes out in the reading, okay? Also, if you are feeling down or if you're feeling like you need resources outside of this reading, please be sure to take advantage of those, okay? So, Aries, the feeling that I get for you, especially during Virgo season, is I get this feeling of just kind of out with the old, in with the new, right? But I feel like there is a part of you that is a little bit stuck. I think you're doing a lot of looking at the old and seeing how it applies to the new. Okay? So I think there's definitely a direction that you want to go in. But you're doing a little bit of reflection, and you're looking back to see what you can pick from the past, or what you can pick from trying to go. Whoops. Sorry. Sorry about that. Like I said, I was on an extended break, so I guess my camera got used to not having to work. Okay. Sorry. So anyway, yeah, like I think you're looking back on a lot of details that have already happened. You're looking at how to tackle something differently than you've done it before. All right. So, looking at your past energy, I definitely feel like there is something in the past that you probably had a hard time moving on from. I think whatever that thing was, you did kind of keep it to yourself. And I can kind of just see you just moving away from this too quickly. And what I mean by that is, like, you're kind of moving away from it, not really trying to figure out the details, not really trying to figure out the nuances about it, but maybe you know what you have to do. But I think that there is a part of you that can't quite move on from it. You can't quite move away from it. And I think there is a part of you that is kind of hiding a little bit. Or you're hiding this issue that you can't move past from yourself, or you're hiding it from others. I think whatever the situation was, though, that there was probably something about it that you didn't see. There was probably an opportunity dangling in the middle of your face that you didn't want to see, or that you didn't want to take up, or maybe you were too distracted by other things. I think that possibly now there might be opportunities in front of you that are right there in front of your face, but you're a little bit distracted. Your mind is elsewhere. Now you also have the Six of Cups here next to the Nine of Cups, and then next to the Ace of Wands. So again, I definitely feel like you are in a better position now, where you are a little bit more comfortable with yourself and with the things that you have and with the things that you have created. You're content right now. Not saying that you won't stay that way, but right now you are content. You're aware of where you are in your life, and you're aware of what you want to go. You are inspired to get more. You are inspired to create more, and to have more, and to conquer more. But I think, again, a part of you is kind of reflecting on the past. I think you're trying to look at past mistakes and incorporate that to what you're doing now and how to do what you're doing now better. Okay? So you have the Queen of Wands here next to the Judgment card, next to the Empress card. So again, you are very confident in your ability to manifest, to create, to be stable, to, be good at your job, just to have yourself and your stuff together. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to let all that go to your head. I don't want you to think like you know everything. Because I do feel like, there is something watching over you, right? And I think it's watching over you in a very positive way. I think it's going to guide you while you're, moving through your career, moving through your love life, moving through your finances or what have you. But on your end, especially while you're in this Empress mode, this nurturing of yourself and other things that you have, this fertile version of you, of really just being very creative. You are protected and you are being watched over with that, but on your end, I don't want you to become arrogant. Okay? But I definitely see that you yourself are looking at the past for ways to improve the future. You are looking at the past and thinking about how it applies to your now. And I think if this inability to move on and this part of you that's not displaying that, and that is ignoring certain signals in your face, if that happened in the past or if that's happening now, I think you're trying to turn that energy into fuel. So I don't think you're trying to dig too deep still, and whatever this has to do with, but I do think you're trying to use that as fuel. Now you have the Ace of Pentacles next to the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Like I said, you are up for any new venture. You are open to this door of opportunity that has to do with your finances, that has to do with your work. You are ready to get this Ace of Pentacles. This hand is bringing out to you, and you want to take that coin, right? You want to grab that. You want to grab that opportunity. You want to grab this sense of stability, right? Now, the Wheel of Fortune in the verse, I don't know if you feel like universe is on your side as much as it is. And I don't know if you feel like things are working out. I feel like things probably seem a little bit uncertain to you. Even though you know what you want to do and you know where you're going, you're still kind of in this mindset that anything can happen. Okay? So then you have the Moon card next to the Page of Swords. So I think, Aries, what you need to do is you need to use your intuition a little bit more than you're using your logic. Even though you don't have a lot of swords here, I do think you're being very practical with your choices and with your decisions, and that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think that you need to use a little bit of your intuition to fill in the nooks and crannies of those bits of confusion that you have. Okay? And I always, when I use this card, I always say that, you should be more like this crawfish and not be afraid to walk down this little path between these two barking dogs towards this very surly moon. So don't be afraid to move forward, regardless of the fact that you don't have all the answers. Okay, don't be afraid to take those leaps of faith, take those opportunities, know that you are protected, but use your intuition. Don't ignore that. You have the Page of Swords in the reverse here. So This could be a person, this could be energy, this could be communication. Whatever this is, you're not really for it. I think you feel like whatever this, you know, energy is, you feel like it will get in the way. So, again, use your intuition, and if this card represents you, don't let yourself get in your own way. Um, and continue to have that spirit of wanting to move forward, wanting to maybe even naively take leaps of faith towards stability, towards money, towards finances, towards love, towards work, you know, towards anything that you're doing. You know, don't get so enamored with your coin or with your love life or with your career or with anything. You know, have that energy to have and to want and to go after what it is that you have and what it is that you want. Just don't get so blinded by the gleam off of that coin. All right? Whatever you do, take your time. Take your time. It's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to put your clarification cards on top of this. So I'm doing something different where I'm not going to do, you know, one video for this spread and then, you know, another video for your extended. I'm just going to do all of it together. It's a lot easier on your girl. You know, it saves me a lot of energy so that I can keep, you know, giving these readings to you guys. So if you liked it the way I did it the first way, I'm so sorry. I'm probably not going to do it like that for a while, if not anymore. But this is the way I'm doing it now. I did buy new tarot cards. So I bought a modified Rider Waite deck for your clarification cards, and then also bought these spirit animal cards so that I can give you guys more of a takeaway after your videos. Okay, so let me go ahead and put these cards where they belong. Yeah, I do feel like you are productively nostalgic. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. You know, I think that, you know, something happened in the past, and, you know, with this Three of Swords being here, it could have to do with love. But I think something happened in the past that was kind of hard for you to move on from. And maybe it's still hard for you to move on from. But I think whatever it was, it did kind of light a fire under you to get up and keep going. Now, again, I don't think you really shared it with anyone or made it too public. I don't think you really told anyone about it, whatever that thing was. Again, I feel like it might have to do with love. But it did light a fire under you, and it did kind of make you put your foot down, you know, kind of like put your staff down and say, this is what I want, you know? And again, you might not have stuck around for the details, whatever this was. You might not have had all the details with whatever this was. And you might not have had all the details with where you were going to go. But I do think that in the past, there was something that happened that was difficult for you to move on from. And there was something about it that either you had to learn or you had to see or know or get from, and the cup is just dangling in your face, and you were so distracted by this thing that you could not move on from that, you know, you probably did not see what you were trying, what you needed to see at that time. I do think that, you know, this Three of Swords situation, whether this is a heartbreak, whether it's a three-party situation, whether it was a, you know, tremendous loss or disappointment, I do think it was part of that that fogginess on your end. But nonetheless, I do think that it it lit a fire under you again. So you have the Seven of Swords in the reverse, clarifying the Six of Cups. I feel like you're like, again, like I feel like you're thinking about the past and how it relates to now. And I think you are looking at certain things, certain choices, certain situations, certain things that were said by you or to other people. Um, and you're really just starting to see them for what they were. Whether it was something that you said that you regretted, you're starting to see it clearly now. You're starting to see that exchange or that conversation for what it was. Okay? This could be about some truths about the past coming out. You know, it could be some confessions, especially if it has to do with this, coming back around to you. Okay? I think this has to do with that fogginess that was back then getting a little bit more clearer. And I don't know if you're, you know, overly trying to analyze the situation. I think if anything, it's probably more intrusive thoughts, bursts of information or downloads that just comes into you. But I definitely see that this is something about the past that's becoming clearer or more honest. And then you have the Four of Swords in the reverse, clarifying the Nine of Cups. So I feel like even though you are content, there's still something that's not giving you rest, right? There's still something that you can't quite sit well with. And this could be you rehashing things or thinking about things in the past or thinking about things now and how did things get so different and change so quickly. You know, where was I last year compared to where I am now? You know, I think you're very aware of the things that you have and of the things that you've worked for, but I do think that you aren't resting with it. Maybe you don't trust the good fortune that you've gotten. You know, you have the Empress in the reverse, clarifying the Ace of Wands. So with these new things, these new opportunities, this sense of claiming your stake, I think that you need to not, you need to make sure that you don't want things just to want them, that you don't want things and you don't want to take care of them, right? So Aries, I think that you are trying to move forward, and I think you are trying to do that with a relatively, you know, good amount of quickness, but make sure that you aren't just planting seeds anywhere. Make sure that you know, are actually planting fruitful seeds. You know, make sure that, you know, you're actually nurturing what you're doing and what you plant. The World in the reverse, clarifying the Queen of Wands, next to the Hierophant, clarifying the Judgment card. Sorry about that. Next to the Ten of Pentacles, clarifying the Empress. So yeah, I definitely feel like there is this energy like where you're not quite satisfied. I definitely feel like there is this energy where you are sitting on a throne and you are looking around at the things that you have manifested and things that you have made and the things that you have done, but there's still something that you feel is unfinished. There's still something that's just not complete, you know? But I feel like you're also kind of ignoring it. You know? And you know how, you see how his hand is kind of like up? I kind of feel like, you know, there's this unfinished cycle or this urge from the past or some unfinished business or something, and the Hierophant's just like, no. I'm busy. You know? Just, there's this putting off, Aries, of something that I think has just kind of laid dormant a little bit. And even though you are ready to create, even though you're very fertile right now, you don't quite feel fulfilled. You don't feel like you have the Ten of Pentacles. You don't feel like you have everything that, based off of everything else, it should feel like this in the upright. Remember that uncertainty I was telling you about? Remember I said how you want to take that coin from this hand that's being offered to you? Yeah, you're still really uncertain though. I feel like it's like if you had like a big like tank of apples and you really like apples and you're just like gathering up all the apples that you can possibly fit into your hand or into your bundle. But then like when you finally finish gathering up apples, you find out that like half of them are like rotten, and then some of them have like worms in them. Maybe a couple of them are good. I do think that you're in this energy where any good thing or anything that looks good, you're just gonna take it. My, right? And I think that does come from a sense of uncertainty on your end, because I think you have the idea of what you want to do, but you don't really have the details. You don't really know what will happen. Because the Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse, you're functioning like a King of Swords. You are being very logical. Very logical, very practical, very to the point. Very, very much in your own hard-headedness right now. It's almost like, Aries, I'm getting like this feeling like you don't have time to deal with feelings, and not even my own. So with this Moon card, I did say, like, I think you need to use your intuition. I think you need to have a little bit more, I don't want to say confidence, but, just let, that motion of moving down that lone road be driven by your intuition more than anything else. I think there's a part of you that just wants to be seen, though. So watch that. Make sure that while you move down that road, you're not doing it for fan base sake. You're actually doing it for you. And so any energy that you don't feel like you can create with, you're not creating with them. You're going towards where you can create magic. You're going towards where you can manifest. And if this is a person, you can't manifest with this Page of Swords person or this energy. This is the manifestation card, right? And it's in the reverse. Ultimately, this is what you want. Ultimately, this is what you're working towards, Aries. This, constantly inspired outlook towards the future, towards future stability, towards, your money, right? This perpetual bliss of work, of stability, of the practical things, and then the Ten of Cups. That's what you want. And I feel like as long as you make sure that you don't ignore things even within yourself too much, if you allow yourself to be a little bit more in tune with the less practical, less logical side of you right now be a little less fiery and a little like water. I kind of feel like you guys almost have like a cold steelness to you right now. Kind of like a Gemini. I'm going to say be a little bit more like water. But that is just my advice to you. I think that things will go a little smoother. You're a little bit more like water. Bottom of the deck for clarification cards. It's the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So there is this low rumbling wall of frustration about something. Don't try to ignore it or cover it up. Now, with your spirit cards, like I said, I'm going to use these just for takeaway. The 3 that I pulled for you guys. First one is Poor Spirit, Freedom is Yours. The second one is Brown Bear Spirit, Take Time Out. The third one is Spider Spirit, Make Your Dreams Real. So, Aries, I think that, not saying that you guys don't think, but I think that Virgo season is affecting you. I feel like I can feel it. I can feel it. Like, you're thinking a little bit too hard. And you're thinking a little bit too much. You know? And I think you need to chill a little bit. Okay? You're not as tied to this situation in the past, and it could be in the present. You're not as tied to the situation as you think. Okay? You can be free from it. Just get a little bit out of your headspace, and like I said, be like water. Take some time out for you. I feel like you guys probably are doing a lot. So make sure that you do take some time out for you to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, to fully be in that Empress spirit, right? And make your dreams real. So Aries, don't get so bogged down and don't get so carried away and distracted by the uncertainty, all right? What you want to do will work out. And you have all the tools and all the doors are open for you to make whatever possibilities realities. Okay? So I do want you guys to take it easy on yourself. Alright, Aries? Alright, well, thank you for tuning into Glow in the Dark Tarot. If this reading resonated with you, great. If it didn't, I'm so sorry. There are other readers out there. Please feel free to check them out. Again, sorry for the extended break. Sorry I haven't been on the channel for a while. I'm going to be cranking out some videos after this. So, please click the subscribe button. Please click the share button. Please give me a thumbs up. And please leave me a comment. I would really like to know what's going on with you guys, okay? Alright, Aries, so I'll see you in the middle of the month. This month for your extended, or I'm sorry, for your bonus. Wait, for your mid-month. And if this video gets a lot of views, I will give you a bonus. Okay? See you, Aries. Bye.